To whom much is given, much will be required. Luke 12:48. This truth holds the weight of divine responsibility, and for those who are chosen, it's a call that cannot be ignored. Have you felt it? That tug on your soul, a quiet but unshakable pull that sets you apart from others. If you're still here, it's because you already know. Your life is anything but ordinary. Before we go deeper, take a moment to comment 777 below. Let's see how many chosen ones are watching right now. And to everyone who has supported this mission through super thanks, your generosity is deeply appreciated. You are part of a divine movement spreading light and truth. Now, let me share something that will challenge everything you think you know about being chosen. Your status is not permanent. Yes, the sacred connection that sets you apart, the alignment with divine purpose, can be lost. Why is this so important to understand? Because the journey of a chosen one is not just a blessing, it's a test. Life molds you through deeper struggles, sharper lessons, and lonelier paths. But with this calling comes the weight of vigilance. There are traps, some obvious, others silent, that can quietly strip away what makes you one of God's chosen. Have you ever wondered why the battles seem unending? Why your spirit feels drained by certain people or habits? Or why fear and doubt creep in at your weakest moments? These aren't coincidences. They are spiritual saboteurs designed to lower your vibration and disconnect you from your purpose. Stay with me, because in this video, we'll uncover 5 specific traps that can pull you away from your divine mission. These aren't just random challenges. They're carefully disguised threats to your sacred connection. What if pride blinds you to God's guidance? What happens when fear paralyzes your faith? And most importantly, how can you protect yourself from losing the very favor that makes you chosen? This isn't just a message, it's a wake-up call. By the end, you'll have the tools to shield yourself from these threats and step boldly into the purpose God has laid out for you. Are you ready to uncover the silent dangers that could be standing between you and your destiny? Let's begin this sacred journey together. God's chosen ones, 5 things that can strip you of your status as a chosen one. Being a chosen one isn't about worldly titles, accolades, or public recognition. It's about stepping into a sacred alignment, forging a deep connection with the divine, and embracing a purpose that transcends personal ambition. The phrase, chosen one, carries a unique significance for each individual, yet at its heart, it signifies a life dedicated to serving a higher calling, one that demands sacrifice, discipline, and steadfast faith. Have you ever paused to wonder what sets you apart? Could it be that inner pull, that undeniable sense that your life is meant for something extraordinary? Those who are chosen don't select themselves. They're handpicked by a force far greater than human understanding. This calling often reveals itself early, sometimes through a faint, persistent whisper, other times as a thunderous roar that demands attention. Have you ever felt that unshakable nudge urging you toward a path you never anticipated, but somehow know is yours? This isn't mere coincidence. This is divine orchestration. Being chosen means aligning your life with this sacred purpose. It's not just about possessing spiritual gifts. It's about putting those gifts into action for a divine mission. Think of Moses, who was called from the humble role of a shepherd to lead an entire nation out of bondage. Despite his initial doubts and fears, he obeyed God's call, trusting in a purpose greater than his own understanding. Similarly, your unique role, whether it's to heal, inspire, teach, or spark transformation, was tailor-made for you, and no one else can fulfill it in quite the same way. Here's the paradox. Being chosen often comes with trials. Why would a loving God allow his chosen ones to face hardship? Because the fire is not meant to destroy, it is meant to refine. The story of Joseph is a powerful example. Sold into slavery by his own brothers and wrongfully imprisoned, Joseph could have given in to despair. Yet he trusted in God's plan, and in the end, his trials positioned him to save countless lives and fulfill his divine destiny. Could it be that the challenges you faced are not signs of abandonment, but evidence that you're being prepared for something greater? The refining process strips away what is unnecessary, molding you into someone capable of carrying out the mission entrusted to you. As you reflect on your own journey, ask yourself, what is the higher purpose tugging at your heart? Are you willing to embrace the trials, knowing they are shaping you for something far greater? Remember, being chosen isn't about ease. It's about impact. Will you rise to the call, even when the road ahead is uncertain? At the heart of being chosen lies a sacred contract, a spiritual agreement formed between your soul and the divine long before you were born. This contract defines your unique purpose and the responsibilities tied to it. It's a profound honor to be chosen, but it is far from trivial. The divine entrusts you with extraordinary gifts, such as heightened intuition, the ability to inspire, or a deep understanding of spiritual truths. Have you ever stopped to wonder why you've been given these abilities? The reason is tied to your sacred mission. Yet, with great power comes great responsibility. Your contract calls for unwavering integrity, humility, and faith, especially during the most challenging times. Straying from your purpose doesn't only affect you, it sends ripples into the lives of those you were meant to uplift, inspire, and guide. What sets you apart is not a sense of arrogance or superiority, but the energy you carry. Being chosen means operating at a higher spiritual frequency, which can make you feel out of place or even alienated in a world that doesn't always understand you. Have you ever felt like you're on a different wavelength than those around you? This difference is not a flaw, but a marker of your unique role. Your heightened intuition enables you to sense things others can't, be it the unspoken emotions of a person, the potential outcomes of a situation, or the energy within a space. This inner compass guides you toward fulfilling your divine purpose, even when the path is unclear. Your journey is often marked by tests and challenges. While these trials may seem overwhelming, they are not punishments. Instead, they are spiritual lessons designed to refine you, strengthen your resolve, and prepare you for the magnitude of your mission. Consider the story of David, who faced lions and giants before becoming king. Each trial was a step in preparing him to lead with courage and faith. Could it be that your challenges are similarly shaping you for something extraordinary? Another defining aspect of being chosen is your deep connection to the divine. Through prayer, meditation, or moments of stillness, you've likely felt the undeniable presence of a higher power. These moments are not coincidences. They are reminders that you are never truly alone. This connection fuels your purpose, providing strength and clarity even in your darkest hours. Have you noticed how, even when life feels heavy, the divine finds a way to guide you back to your calling? This bond is your anchor, grounding you in the knowledge that you are seen, supported, and equipped for the mission ahead. Being chosen carries with it a profound duality, both a blessing and a burden. The blessings are undeniable. You've been gifted with extraordinary abilities and insights that have the power to transform not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. Have you noticed how your unique perspective often provides clarity in situations others struggle to understand? These gifts are a testament to your divine purpose. Yet, the burden is equally significant. Many chosen ones feel deeply misunderstood, even by those they hold closest. Your path often demands solitude, which, while isolating, is also a blessing in disguise. In the quiet moments away from distractions, you can hear the whispers of the divine with unmatched clarity. Could it be that this solitude is preparing you for something greater? The weight of your purpose can sometimes feel overwhelming. You aren't just living for yourself. Your mission extends far beyond your own life, impacting countless others in ways you may not fully comprehend. Unlike others, you're held to a higher standard. The divine calls you to lead by example, to walk in truth and integrity, even when the path is difficult or inconvenient. As Jesus said, "To whom much is given, much will be required." Luke 12:48. This scripture reminds us that being entrusted with great responsibility means rising to meet the expectations set before us. Consider the story of Moses, a man called to lead an entire nation out of bondage, though he doubted his abilities, saying, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" Exodus 3:11. God reassured him with his presence, "I will be with you." Exodus 3:12. In the same way, your burden is not yours to carry alone. The divine walks with you, providing strength and guidance when the weight feels too heavy. This tension, the duality of blessing and burden, exists not to break you, but to shape you. The challenges refine your character, teaching you resilience, humility, and strength. As the Apostle Paul wrote, "We also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope." Romans 5:3-4. Have you ever thought about how much you've grown through the trials you've faced? It's in this sacred space, where the blessing meets the burden, that you are molded into your fullest potential. The question is, will you embrace both sides of this calling and rise to the extraordinary purpose for which you were chosen? At its core, being a chosen one is about alignment, living in harmony with your sacred contract and divine purpose. When you are aligned, life flows effortlessly. You feel connected, empowered, and guided by a force far greater than yourself. As Psalm 37:23 reminds us, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him." This alignment brings clarity and opens doors that no one can shut. But when you stray from alignment, chaos often follows. You may feel lost, drained, or plagued with doubt. Have you noticed how life feels heavier when you drift away from your purpose? This is why maintaining alignment is not just important, it is essential. Alignment doesn't require perfection, it demands persistence. It's about making daily choices to nurture your connection to the divine. Practices like prayer, meditation, journaling, or simply quiet reflection serve as anchors, helping you stay centered and focused. Jesus often withdrew to quiet places to pray, as seen in Luke 5:16, setting an example for us to find moments of stillness in our busy lives. Could it be that dedicating even a few moments each day to these practices could deepen your connection and bring you back into alignment? As a chosen one, your life is not just about your personal growth, it's also about inspiring others. Whether you realize it or not, your journey serves as a light for those around you. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." People are drawn to your energy, your authenticity, and your wisdom, because you embody what is possible when someone lives in alignment with their higher purpose. But with this influence comes great responsibility. Will you use it to uplift and inspire, leading with humility and gratitude? Remember that your gifts are not yours alone. They come from a divine source, entrusted to you for a greater purpose. To be chosen is to walk a sacred path, one filled with trials, blessings, and immense opportunities for growth. It is not the easiest path, but it is undoubtedly the most meaningful. If you've ever wondered whether you are among the chosen, let me ask, do you feel a deep truth resonating within you as you hear these words? If so, then yes, you are chosen. As Jeremiah 1:5 declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." You've been set apart for a divine purpose. Honor it, protect it, and live it boldly, because the world needs your light and your gifts now more than ever. Being a chosen one is both a privilege and a profound responsibility. Yet this sacred position isn't guaranteed forever. The divine may set you apart, but staying aligned with your calling depends on your actions, mindset, and spiritual discipline. The forces that threaten your status as a chosen one are often subtle, creeping in silently and disguised as habits, attitudes, or influences. One of the most dangerous of these silent saboteurs is ego, an insidious force that can dismantle your connection to your divine purpose if left unchecked. Ego is deceptive, often masquerading as confidence or spiritual conviction. For chosen ones, it's a particularly dangerous trap because it weaves itself into the very fabric of spirituality. What begins as genuine alignment with a divine calling can quietly morph into a sense of superiority, distorting the sacred path. Proverbs 16:18 warns, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." When humility, the cornerstone of your connection to the divine, is replaced with pride, spiritual arrogance takes root, and the essence of being chosen begins to erode. This silent saboteur operates in whispers, convincing you that being chosen makes you better, more deserving, or more enlightened than others. It builds walls of separation between you and those you are meant to serve. The humility that once drew people to your light is replaced by an energy of self-importance, and this shift does not go unnoticed. People can sense when the purity of your mission is clouded by ego, and they begin to withdraw. This withdrawal creates isolation, not just socially, but spiritually. As James 4:6 reminds us, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. When pride takes hold, it becomes a barrier that blocks the divine from flowing freely through your life. Ego doesn't just create separation, it distorts your perception of purpose. The mission that was once about spreading love, healing, and wisdom may subtly shift to serve self-interest, seeking recognition, control, or power instead. But the divine doesn't call chosen ones to rule, it calls them to serve. Jesus exemplified this in his ministry, stating in Mark 10:45, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." When ego clouds your purpose, it disconnects you from the higher forces that chose you, leaving your mission empty of its divine essence. Perhaps the most dangerous aspect of ego is its ability to halt spiritual growth. It convinces you that you've already arrived, that there's no longer a need to learn, grow, or refine yourself. This stagnation is perilous for chosen ones because the spiritual path requires constant evolution. As 2 Peter 3:18 urges, "But grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ." To stop growing is to stop aligning with divine purpose. The ego doesn't announce itself boldly, it creeps in quietly, disguised as confidence, conviction, or even false humility. So how do you combat it? The key lies in cultivating true humility. Reflect on the words of Micah 6:8. What does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Humility keeps your heart open, your intentions pure, and your connection to the divine strong. It reminds you that you are not the source of the light, but a vessel for it. By remaining humble, you allow the divine to work through you, ensuring that your sacred position as a chosen one remains intact and your mission continues to shine brightly for those who need it most. True humility is not about denying your gifts or belittling your purpose. It's about recognizing that these gifts are not your own, but are divine tools entrusted to you for a higher mission. It's an acknowledgement that you are a vessel, not the source, of the blessings that flow through you. As James 1:17 says, "Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights." When you embrace this truth, humility restores your connection to the divine, aligning you with principles of love, compassion, and surrender. This alignment clears the way for divine energy to work through you freely and powerfully. Humility anchors you in gratitude. It reminds you that every step of your journey, every accomplishment, is guided by a force far greater than yourself. Have you ever paused to marvel at the doors that opened when you least expected it, or the strength you received in moments of weakness? These are not coincidences, they are divine provisions. To remain aligned, chosen ones must practice constant self-awareness. The journey demands vigilance, as ego is ever present, seeking opportunities to reassert itself. When you sense its whispers, ask yourself, are my actions guided by love and service, or am I seeking validation and recognition? This reflection can illuminate whether you're walking in alignment or being swayed by self-interest. Recommit daily to your purpose. Remember that the divine didn't choose you because of your perfection, but because of your willingness. Just as Moses doubted his ability to lead, saying, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" Exodus 3:11. He was reminded that God equips those he calls. Similarly, you don't need to be flawless to fulfill your mission. You only need to be authentic and willing. Ego may try to distract you from your calling, but humility will always guide you back. The divine seeks authenticity, not perfection. When you stay humble, grounded, and focused on your mission, you create space for divine wisdom to flow through you. Your gifts are not meant to be hoarded or used for self-glorification, but to uplift, inspire, and heal. As Philippians 2:3-4 advises, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others. In humility lies your true strength as a chosen one. It's the quiet confidence of knowing that you are guided, the peace of trusting in something greater, and the courage to serve wholeheartedly. By walking in humility, you ensure that your light shines brightly, not for your own recognition, but to illuminate the path for others and glorify the one who called you. Discipline is the cornerstone upon which your status as a chosen one stands. Without it, your connection to the divine purpose begins to waver, and the energy that once flowed effortlessly through you starts to fade. Being chosen isn't just a designation, it's a continuous commitment. Discipline acts as the bridge that keeps you aligned with your higher self and the divine forces that guide your path. When that bridge weakens, the foundation of your sacred mission begins to crumble. The journey of a chosen one demands consistency. The spiritual gifts you possess are not static, they are dynamic and require regular nurturing. Think of them as a flame that must be carefully tended to avoid flickering out. As Paul reminded Timothy, "For this reason, I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God which is in you." 2 Timothy 1:6. Practices like meditation, prayer, grounding, and self-reflection are not optional. They are essential. These acts are more than daily rituals. They are acts of alignment, reconnecting you to your mission and the higher power that entrusted you with it. Have you noticed how even a few moments of intentional stillness can reignite your sense of purpose? When discipline falters, distractions begin to creep in, pulling you away from your spiritual center. Life's chaos, masked as busyness or harmless neglect, starts to dominate your energy. Perhaps you skip a day of prayer thinking it won't matter, or put off meditation because there's no immediate urgency. But over time, these small choices accumulate, creating a widening gap between you and your divine purpose. Proverbs 4:23 warns, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Neglecting spiritual discipline leaves your heart unguarded, allowing disconnection to take root. This lack of discipline opens the door for negativity to infiltrate your life. Without consistent practices to clear and protect your energy, you become more susceptible to external influences. Stress, fear, and doubt can cloud your path, while toxic relationships or negative environments weigh down your vibration. In the absence of regular spiritual maintenance, it becomes increasingly difficult to discern the voice of the divine amidst the noise. Consider the Israelites in the wilderness, who, when they turned away from God's instructions, found themselves lost and overwhelmed by uncertainty. Exodus 32. Could it be that neglecting discipline in your own life has allowed similar confusion to creep in? To stay aligned, discipline must become a way of life. It's a daily recommitment to your purpose and a recognition that your gifts require care and attention. As Hebrews 12:11 reminds us, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Discipline may feel challenging, but it cultivates the clarity, focus, and strength needed to fulfill your calling. By embracing discipline, you safeguard your connection to the divine, maintain alignment with your mission, and fortify your spirit against the distractions and negativity of the world. Will you commit to nurturing your gifts and ensuring that the flame of your purpose burns brightly? The world needs your light, and the divine has chosen you to carry it forward. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Many chosen ones mistakenly view stumbling or falling off the path as a failure, but the real failure lies in refusing to get back up and return to alignment. Discipline is not a rigid set of rules. It's a commitment, a promise to yourself and the divine, to continually strive for connection and purpose, no matter how many times life challenges your resolve. As Proverbs 24:16 says, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again." The journey of a chosen one is not defined by the falls, but by the determination to rise. Without discipline, your spiritual gifts may begin to diminish. These gifts are not possessions, they are divine tools entrusted to you for a higher purpose. The divine provides them to those who are willing to cultivate and use them wisely. Neglecting this responsibility leads to a natural consequence. The gifts begin to fade, not out of punishment, but as a result of disconnection. Have you ever felt a moment when your spiritual clarity seemed dimmed or your energy depleted? This often signals a need to realign and recommit to nurturing your gifts. As Jesus teaches in the parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30, the servant who buried his talent, rather than cultivating it, lost even what little he had. This story reminds us that our gifts flourish only when they are actively nurtured. A lack of discipline also results in missed opportunities. The divine often works through synchronicity, presenting moments of growth, service, and transformation that align perfectly with your purpose. These moments are the gentle nudges of the divine, guiding you toward your destiny. But if you're disconnected, caught up in distractions, or neglecting your spiritual practices, you may fail to notice these opportunities. As Isaiah 30:21 says, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" Regular practices such as prayer, meditation, and reflection help you tune into this guidance, sharpening your ability to recognize and act on divine direction. Discipline is the foundation that keeps you attuned to your mission. It allows you to discern the signs, hear the whispers of the divine, and respond to the needs of those you are called to serve. When you falter, remember that returning to the path is always within your reach. The divine does not demand perfection. It desires willingness, faith, and persistence. Will you rise again, recommit to your sacred journey, and embrace the discipline that ensures your gifts and purpose remain alive? The choice is yours, and the world awaits your light. Rebuilding discipline begins with small, intentional steps. It's not about transforming your entire life in an instant, but about taking consistent actions that reconnect you with your divine purpose. Start with one simple act of alignment each day, a moment of stillness, a heartfelt prayer, or a few words written in a journal. These small, deliberate actions create ripples that gradually restore and strengthen your connection to the divine. As Zechariah 4:10 reminds us, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." Consistency is the key. Even when you don't feel motivated, show up for your practices. Spiritual discipline isn't about convenience. It's about honoring your sacred contract even on the hard days. Think of Daniel, who continued to pray 3 times a day despite the threat of persecution, Daniel 6:10. His unwavering commitment preserved his connection to God and ultimately led to divine intervention. Could it be that your own small acts of discipline will pave the way for greater breakthroughs in your journey? Discipline isn't just about your personal growth. As a chosen one, your alignment has a ripple effect on those around you. Your energy, your actions, and your presence influence the people you are meant to guide and uplift. Neglecting discipline doesn't only impact your journey, it affects the lives you are called to touch. Jesus said in Matthew 5:16, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your consistency inspires others to find their own alignment and purpose. The divine chose you for your potential, your willingness, and your strength. But staying chosen requires ongoing action. Discipline is the key to maintaining the flow of divine energy in your life. It's not about achieving perfection, but about showing up consistently for yourself, your mission, and the higher forces guiding you. Through this commitment, you create a foundation that cannot be shaken. As Psalm 1:3 describes, "That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers." When discipline becomes your way of life, you ensure that your connection to the divine remains unbroken, even when the storms of life arise. You honor your status as a chosen one, solidifying your purpose and ensuring that your light continues to shine in a world that so desperately needs it. Will you take the first step today and recommit to your sacred practices? The divine is ready to meet you where you are and guide you forward, one disciplined step at a time. Relationships are an integral part of the human experience, but for chosen ones, they carry an even deeper significance. The people you allow into your life have the power to either elevate you or pull you away from your divine purpose. Toxic relationships and negative influences are some of the most subtle yet destructive forces that can undermine your alignment and spiritual status. These connections don't merely impact your emotions, they infiltrate your energy, cloud your discernment, and create a disconnect between you and the divine alignment that sets you apart. Your energy is sacred. It fuels your spiritual gifts and sustains your alignment with your mission. Yet, toxic relationships act as energy drainers, slowly sapping your vitality and focus. These influences aren't always obvious enemies. They can be disguised as close friends, family members, romantic partners, or even colleagues. While they may not appear harmful initially, over time, their negativity erodes your peace, clarity, and connection to the divine. As Proverbs 13:20 warns, Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Toxic relationships often reveal themselves through criticism, manipulation, or emotional instability. They may make you question your worth, doubt your purpose, or dismiss the sacredness of your calling. Have you experienced moments where someone's words or actions planted seeds of doubt in your heart? These individuals often operate from a place of fear, envy, or unresolved pain. Their energy can seep into yours, creating confusion and weakening your ability to remain grounded in your divine truth. Even Jesus faced this, as seen when Peter, out of fear, rebuked him for speaking about his mission. Jesus responded sharply, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." Matthew 16:23. This moment illustrates the importance of recognizing and addressing influences that deter you from your purpose, even when they come from those close to you. One of the most dangerous aspects of toxic relationships is their subtlety. They often disguise themselves in the comfort of familiarity, making it difficult to discern their harmful impact. You may feel bound by loyalty, guilt, or a sense of obligation to maintain these connections. But as a chosen one, your first and highest loyalty is to your divine purpose. Consider Abraham, who was called by God to leave his homeland and family to fulfill a greater mission. Genesis 12:1. He had to release the familiar to fully embrace his divine calling. Could it be that you're being called to make a similar choice in your life? Remaining in toxic relationships not only drains your energy, but also creates a barrier to divine guidance and opportunities. The Apostle Paul reminds us in 2 Corinthians 6:14, "Do not be yoked together with unbelievers. For what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness?" This isn't a call to shun others, but a reminder to be mindful of the connections that influence your energy and alignment. As a chosen one, your primary duty is to your purpose and the divine forces guiding you. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's essential. Letting go of toxic relationships is an act of obedience and faith, trusting that the divine will fill the space with relationships that uplift and support you. Will you have the courage to release what no longer serves your purpose and embrace the clarity, peace, and alignment that await on the other side? The choice is yours, and the divine is ready to guide you every step of the way. Allowing toxic influences to persist in your life harms more than just you. It hinders the sacred work you are meant to accomplish in the world. These negative influences aren't limited to personal relationships. They extend to the environments you inhabit, the media you consume, and even the habits you practice. Constant exposure to negativity, whether through divisive news, unproductive social media, or toxic surroundings, can dull your spiritual sensitivity, making it harder to discern divine guidance. As Philippians 4:8 encourages, "Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." Protecting what enters your mind and spirit is essential to remaining aligned with your purpose. Guarding your energy is not selfish. It is an act of spiritual self-preservation. Boundaries are vital for maintaining your connection to the divine. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you lack compassion for others. It means you prioritize your purpose and the sacred energy entrusted to you. Just as Jesus often withdrew to solitary places to pray and recharge, Luke 5:16, you too must create a safe space for yourself to grow, thrive, and stay aligned with your higher calling. Could it be that establishing boundaries will not only protect your energy, but also inspire others to honor their own? Detaching from toxic relationships or influences is not abandonment. It's a choice to honor your path. You can love people from a distance while still safeguarding your peace. Release the guilt that often accompanies setting boundaries, and remember that your role as a chosen one includes leading by example. Demonstrating self-respect and alignment teaches others the importance of prioritizing their spiritual well-being. As Proverbs 4:23 advises, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." When you guard your heart and energy, you allow your light to shine brighter for others to follow. Healing from the effects of toxic relationships requires intentional effort. Begin by acknowledging the impact these influences have had on your life. Recognize any pain, doubt, or disconnection they may have caused, and bring these burdens to the divine in prayer. As Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Then actively work to clear your energy and restore your balance. Practices like meditation, prayer, spending time in nature, or engaging in creative pursuits can help realign you with your higher self. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, environments that foster peace, and habits that nurture your soul. The divine has chosen you for a sacred purpose, one that requires clarity, focus, and strength. Toxic relationships and negative influences are distractions that threaten to derail you from this mission. By releasing what no longer serves you, you make room for divine energy to flow freely through your life. Remember, you were not chosen to carry unnecessary burdens. Let go of the weight that holds you back. Protect your energy and honor the path set before you. As Isaiah 41:10 reassures, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." When you release toxic influences and embrace what uplifts your spirit, you reaffirm your status as a chosen one. You are then ready to fulfill your divine purpose with clarity, confidence, and unwavering strength. The world needs your light, now more than ever. Will you protect it and allow it to shine brightly for all to see? Fear and doubt are among the most persistent and silent saboteurs that chosen ones face. They often creep in unexpectedly, casting long shadows over your faith and shaking the very foundation of your divine purpose. These forces don't merely test your spiritual journey, they actively threaten to derail it. Fear and doubt are the antithesis of alignment, blocking the flow of divine energy and creating barriers between you and the mission you've been called to fulfill. As 2 Timothy 1:7 reminds us, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." As a chosen one, your path is often filled with uncertainty. You've been called to something greater, but rarely does this calling come with a clear roadmap. This lack of clarity can open the door to fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and even fear of the magnitude of your calling can paralyze you. Have you ever felt the weight of wondering if you're truly capable of carrying out the mission entrusted to you? These fears are not a reflection of your inadequacy, but an invitation to deepen your trust in the divine. Doubt, on the other hand, whispers lies that undermine your faith. It plants questions in your heart. What if you're not really chosen? What if this is all in your imagination? What if you're not enough? These doubts, when left unchecked, can feel overwhelming, slowly chipping away at your confidence and eroding your connection to your divine purpose. Consider the story of Peter walking on water, Matthew 14:29-31. When his focus was on Jesus, he defied the impossible, but the moment fear and doubt crept in, he began to sink. Jesus' words to Peter, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" are a reminder that fear and doubt weaken our ability to stay aligned with divine power. Fear and doubt are natural human experiences, but they become dangerous when they take root in your spirit. They are not signs of failure, but opportunities for growth. Just as David faced Goliath with faith rather than fear, 1 Samuel 17, you too are called to confront the giants of doubt and uncertainty with trust in the divine. Could it be that the very challenges you face are meant to strengthen your reliance on God rather than your own understanding? When fear and doubt arise, they must be met with intentional action. Prayer, meditation, and reflection can help you recenter and remind you of the divine promises that guide your path. Scripture offers countless reassurances such as Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Surround yourself with practices and people that fortify your faith and encourage your spirit. Remember, fear and doubt cannot coexist with unwavering trust. As you face these challenges, ask yourself, what truth does the divine want me to hold on to in this moment? By shifting your focus from the uncertainties to the faithfulness of God, you begin to reclaim your power. You were chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to trust in the one who called you. Let fear and doubt be stepping stones that lead you closer to your purpose rather than barriers that hold you back. Fear causes hesitation when you're called to act, and doubt pulls you back when you should step forward. Together, they create a paralyzing cycle, keeping you trapped in inaction and self-questioning. These emotions don't just affect your mind, they seep into your spirit, lowering your vibration and disrupting the flow of divine energy. This dissonance manifests as confusion, lack of inspiration, or even physical and emotional exhaustion. The longer you allow fear and doubt to linger, the more distant you feel from your divine purpose, making it even harder to realign with your sacred mission. As Proverbs 29:25 reminds us, fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. It's essential to understand that fear and doubt are not signs of failure or weakness. They are part of the human experience, even for the strongest souls. Throughout the Bible, even great leaders and prophets faced moments of uncertainty. Moses doubted his ability to lead, saying, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" Exodus 3:11. Yet God assured him, "I will be with you." These feelings are not enemies to be eradicated, but opportunities for growth and deeper trust in the divine. Every time you choose faith over fear and conviction over doubt, you strengthen your alignment with your higher purpose. The first step in overcoming fear and doubt is awareness. Acknowledge these emotions without judgment. Denying or suppressing them only gives them more power over you. Instead, observe them as temporary visitors, not permanent fixtures in your heart. As Psalm 34:4 encourages, "I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears." By turning your awareness toward the divine, you can see fear and doubt for what they truly are. Reactions to the unknown, not absolute truths. To counter fear, anchor yourself in faith. Faith doesn't require certainty, it requires trust. It's believing in the unseen and relying on the divine to guide you, even when the path ahead is unclear. Reaffirm your connection through prayer, meditation, or quiet reflection. Take time to remember moments in your life when you faced challenges and emerged stronger or received guidance in unexpected ways. These experiences are not mere coincidences. They are evidence of the divine walking with you. As Isaiah 41:13 promises, "For I am the Lord your God who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, 'Do not fear, I will help you.'" To overcome doubt, return to your why. Reflect on the calling that makes you a chosen one. What is the purpose that sets your soul on fire? What are the signs and experiences that have confirmed your connection to the divine? When you reconnect with the deeper truth of your purpose, you quiet the voices of doubt that try to distract you. Think of Jesus in the wilderness, tempted by doubt and fear, but resolute in his mission. He reminded himself of the truth, declaring, "Man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Matthew 4:4. You too can counter doubt by focusing on the promises and guidance of the divine. Fear and doubt will come, but they do not have to define your journey. Use these moments to deepen your faith, strengthen your resolve, and reconnect with your purpose. The divine has chosen you for a reason, and you are never alone in this calling. When fear and doubt arise, let them be stepping stones to greater clarity and trust, propelling you closer to the fulfillment of your sacred mission. Surrounding yourself with supportive influences is one of the most effective ways to counter fear and doubt. These emotions often thrive in isolation, but when you're connected to people who uplift and encourage you, their power diminishes. Who in your life reminds you of your strength and helps you stay aligned with your divine calling? Seek out mentors, trusted friends, or spiritual communities that inspire you to rise above challenges and walk boldly in your purpose. Proverbs 27:17 reminds us, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Could it be that the people around you are part of the divine's plan to strengthen and guide you? Fear and doubt may never disappear entirely, but their grip on you weakens with every step of faith you take. Have you ever noticed how even a small act of trust can open the door to unexpected clarity and strength? Each time you choose to trust in the divine instead of succumbing to uncertainty, you reclaim your power. Consider the story of Joshua, who faced the daunting task of leading the Israelites into the promised land. God's words to him were simple yet profound. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. What steps of courage can you take today to move closer to your purpose? As a chosen one, you're called to rise above fear and doubt, not because you're immune to them, but because you're equipped to overcome them. What would happen if you viewed every challenge as an opportunity to strengthen your faith? The divine has instilled in you a strength that surpasses these challenges. Romans 8:37 declares, "In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." Are you willing to believe that you are stronger than the doubts that try to hold you back? Remember, fear and doubt can only pull you away from your purpose if you allow them to. When these feelings arise, how can you use them as reminders to turn back to the divine? Trust the call that has been placed on your life. Lean into faith when the path feels uncertain, and take action even when the way forward isn't fully clear. As Psalm 119:105 says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." How might your journey change if you trusted the light of divine guidance, even when it illuminates only one step at a time? You are not alone in this mission, and fear and doubt cannot strip you of your status as a chosen one. Keep choosing faith even in the face of uncertainty, and you will continue to walk in alignment with your sacred purpose. What is one step you can take today to honor your mission and reaffirm your connection to the divine? Every step forward strengthens your path and ensures that your light shines brightly in a world that desperately needs it. Spiritual gifts are a sacred trust from the divine, entrusted to chosen ones to serve a higher purpose. These gifts, whether they manifest as intuition, healing, wisdom, or leadership, are not merely abilities, but tools for transformation meant to uplift, heal, and guide others. However, with great power comes great responsibility. Misusing these gifts, intentionally or unintentionally, can disrupt your alignment with the divine, distancing you from your sacred mission and jeopardizing your status as a chosen one. Have you ever paused to reflect on how you use your spiritual gifts? Could there be ways you're unintentionally misaligning with their purpose? Misuse of spiritual gifts doesn't always stem from malicious intent. Often it begins subtly, influenced by ego, fear, or temptation. Perhaps you've used your intuitive abilities to influence a situation in your favor, or allowed your spiritual knowledge to inflate your pride instead of fostering humility. Have you ever felt tempted to let others view you as the source of wisdom rather than a vessel for divine guidance? As Proverbs 16:18 warns, pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Even small choices made out of alignment with the divine's intent can gradually shift your vibration and purpose. Consider the story of Simon the sorcerer in Acts 8:18-21. He witnessed the apostles' ability to impart the Holy Spirit and offered money to obtain the same power. His desire wasn't to serve, but to enhance his own status, leading Peter to rebuke him sharply. "May your money perish with you, because you thought you could buy the gift of God with money." This story reminds us that spiritual gifts are sacred and cannot be used for personal gain or manipulation without grave consequences. Could it be that you're being called to examine the intentions behind your use of your gifts? Misusing spiritual gifts also creates a ripple effect beyond your own spiritual journey. When you exploit the trust of others or use your gifts to dominate rather than empower, you not only damage relationships but also harm your ability to fulfill your divine mission. Jesus exemplified the proper use of spiritual power, always for healing, teaching, and serving others with humility and love. In Matthew 20:28, he said, "The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." How might your gifts transform lives if you approach them with the same mindset of service and surrender? To remain aligned with your purpose, it's crucial to use your spiritual gifts with humility, integrity, and love. When you feel the pull of ego or temptation, ask yourself, am I using this gift to glorify the divine or to serve myself? Regular self-reflection and prayer can help you stay grounded in the truth of your mission. Remember, the divine entrusted you with these gifts not because of your perfection, but because of your willingness to serve. Are you ready to recommit to using your gifts as they were intended? Every moment is an opportunity to realign. The misuse of spiritual gifts does not have to define your journey. Through humility, repentance, and intentional action, you can restore your connection to the divine and continue fulfilling the purpose for which you were chosen. What steps can you take today to ensure that your spiritual gifts are used to uplift, heal, and guide as the divine intended? At its core, the misuse of spiritual gifts represents a betrayal of the sacred contract you made with the divine. These gifts are not yours to wield as you please. They are entrusted to you for service and the fulfillment of a higher purpose, not for self-interest. Have you ever paused to reflect on how you're using your gifts? Are they being used to glorify the divine or to satisfy personal desires? When spiritual gifts are used improperly, they begin to lose their potency. The divine energy that fuels them gradually withdraws, leaving you disconnected from the source of your power. As 1 Peter 4:10 reminds us, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. The consequences of misuse are not only external, but also internal, affecting your spiritual alignment. Each time you use your gifts in a way that doesn't honor their sacred purpose, you create a dissonance within yourself. This dissonance clouds your judgment, diminishes your clarity, and weakens your connection to the divine. Have you experienced moments when your gifts felt less effective or your sense of purpose seemed obscured? This often signals a need to realign with the sacred mission for which you were chosen. To prevent this disconnection, approach your gifts with humility and integrity. Before using them, ask yourself, Is this for the highest good? Does this align with the divine purpose for which I was chosen? These questions act as a compass, guiding you back to alignment. When you use your gifts selflessly to uplift, heal, or inspire others, they flourish. The divine energy behind them grows stronger, deepening your connection and enhancing your ability to serve. Consider the words of Jesus in Matthew 25:29, "For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them." When you honor your gifts, they multiply. When misused, they diminish. Your spiritual gifts are not yours alone. They are extensions of divine grace. Using them wisely honors the sacred trust placed in you and ensures they remain a source of light and power in your life. Think of the story of Joseph, whose ability to interpret dreams was used to serve not only Pharaoh, but also to save countless lives during a famine. Genesis 41. His faithfulness in using his gifts aligned him with God's purpose, turning him into a beacon of divine provision and wisdom. How might your gifts transform lives if used with the same integrity and commitment? Misusing your gifts leads to their erosion, taking with them the sacred connection that defines your status as a chosen one. But this need not be your path. The divine offers endless opportunities for realignment and redemption. Will you commit to using your gifts for their intended purpose, to serve, uplift, and glorify the divine? Stay true to the mission entrusted to you, and your gifts will not only remain but will grow, becoming a greater blessing to both you and the world. The path of a chosen one is not an easy road, but it is a profoundly meaningful and transformative journey. It is a calling filled with opportunities to grow, serve, and embody the divine purpose entrusted to you. Along the way, you will face challenges, temptations, and moments of doubt. Have you ever wondered why the road feels so difficult at times? It is because your journey is sacred, and staying aligned with your purpose requires persistence, humility, and a commitment to realign each time you stray. As Proverbs 3:6 reminds us, "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." The silent saboteurs we've explored, ego, lack of discipline, toxic relationships, fear, doubt, and the misuse of spiritual gifts, are universal tests every chosen one encounters. These challenges are not signs of failure, but opportunities to deepen your awareness and strengthen your connection to the divine. Have you considered that these obstacles might be refining you, shaping you into the person you are meant to become? James 1:2-3 encourages, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Each challenge is an invitation to grow in faith and resilience. To stay aligned with your sacred path, remember that your calling is not about you. It is about the lives you are meant to touch and the energy you are destined to bring into the world. How might your perspective shift if you viewed your journey as part of a divine tapestry, where each thread serves a greater purpose? When you see your role in this larger picture, it becomes easier to release ego-driven desires for recognition or control. Jesus exemplified this perspective, saying in John 5:30, "By myself I can do nothing. I judge only as I hear, and my judgment is just, for I seek not to please myself, but him who sent me." Staying aligned also requires a commitment to daily practices that nurture your connection to the divine. Prayer, meditation, self-reflection, and acts of service are tools that help keep you grounded in your mission. Even in moments of doubt or weakness, returning to these practices reaffirms your alignment. Could a simple act of stillness each day help you hear the whispers of divine guidance more clearly? Psalm 46:10 invites us, "Be still and know that I am God." Finally, recognize that the path of a chosen one is not walked alone. The divine walks with you, guiding and sustaining you every step of the way. When the journey feels overwhelming, lean into this truth. As Isaiah 40:31 promises, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." What steps can you take today to stay aligned with your sacred purpose? By approaching your journey with humility, persistence, and a focus on the greater mission, you ensure that your light continues to shine, not just for yourself, but for the world that so desperately needs it. Discipline is your anchor. Daily practices like meditation, prayer, journaling, or simply spending time in nature are not just routines. They are sacred acts of devotion that keep you connected to the higher frequencies of love, compassion, and purpose. Have you noticed how even a few moments of stillness can realign your spirit and bring clarity? These practices are not tasks to be checked off a list. They are reminders to the universe and to yourself that you are committed to your sacred path. As Psalm 119:1-5 says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Even in the chaos of life, these rituals guide you back to alignment. Protecting your energy is equally vital. Surround yourself with people, environments, and influences that uplift and inspire you. Have you ever felt the weight of negativity after spending time in the wrong company? Letting go of what no longer serves you is not an act of abandonment. It is an act of love for yourself and for the mission you are here to fulfill. As Ecclesiastes 3:6 reminds us, there is a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away. When you create space for positivity and growth, divine guidance flows more freely into your life, filling that space with clarity and purpose. When fear and doubt arise, and they will, meet them with faith. Faith doesn't eliminate uncertainty, but it gives you the courage to move forward despite it. Have you ever faced a moment where taking just one step forward brought unexpected breakthroughs? Trust that the divine chose you for a reason, and that every step, even the hesitant ones, is part of your evolution. As 2 Corinthians 5:7 declares, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." The challenges you face are not obstacles, they are opportunities to grow stronger and more aligned with your sacred purpose. As a chosen one, your greatest power lies in humility. Recognize that your gifts are not yours alone, but extensions of divine grace. How might your journey shift if you viewed every talent, every insight, as a blessing to be shared rather than owned? Gratitude is the foundation of this humility, reminding you that being chosen is both an honor and a responsibility. Lead with love, act with integrity, and serve selflessly, and the divine energy will continue to guide and sustain you. In the words of Matthew 23:12, "For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." You are here for a reason. Your life is part of something far greater than yourself, and the light within you has the power to inspire, heal, and transform. Can you imagine the ripple effect your alignment might have on the lives of others? Stay committed to your path, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. The world needs the gifts you carry, and the divine has entrusted you to honor the sacred contract you accepted. In moments of doubt, remind yourself of this truth. You are chosen because you are capable. You are chosen because you are ready. You are chosen because the divine sees in you a potential that the world desperately needs. Will you rise to meet that potential? Protect your energy, nurture your alignment, and walk your path with courage and faith. The journey of a chosen one is never over. It is a continuous unfolding of purpose, growth, and connection. Stay aligned, stay humble, and let your light shine brightly. The divine chose you for a reason, and it will continue to guide you every step of the way. As we conclude today's message, it's important to remember that your divine status is not something to take lightly. It is a precious gift that must be nurtured and guarded with faith, obedience, and discernment. Avoiding the pitfalls we've discussed ensures that you continue walking in the fullness of God's calling on your life, fulfilling your purpose with power and grace. I encourage you to reflect on the lessons shared and examine your own life. Are there areas where you need to realign with God's will? Don't let distractions or disobedience steal your position as a chosen one. You are called for greatness, and God is always ready to lead you back if you stray. If this video has blessed you, consider supporting us through a super thanks donation. Whether you choose to donate or not, I want to express my deep gratitude for your continued support and engagement. Your presence here means so much, and your prayers are always appreciated. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who need encouragement. Also, leave a comment below to share your thoughts and experiences. We would love to hear from you. May God continue to bless you richly in every area of your life. Stay encouraged and always remember, you are chosen.